In April, Naisna joined Brazil's medical mission in the Amazon and in the city of Recife. In the Amazon region, our team had an intensive half-day seminar at the Amazon University to learn how to interact with the indigenous and about the universal healthcare program in Brazil, as well as the reason the residents of the south and southeast parts of the country are well served and those in the north and northeast are neglected. For 2 days, the nurses had a unique opportunity to provide medical services to an indigenous tribe, learn about medicinal plants, and how to protect the environment from the indigenous perspective. They also navigated on the Amazon River together with indigenous people to learn the different sounds during the day and night. The nurses also participate in the ceremonies. The group was divided into teams. One side provided health care to the indigenous and another team went to a remote area in the middle of the rainforest. The group switched the next day so that everyone would have both experiences. The Amazon University provided all necessary support, including 20 nursing students as translators, and doctors and nurses from the State Association also helped. In total, we had 101 local volunteers motivated by Naisna's team. From the Amazon, the group went to Recife, where they served an unprivileged community that was much in need of medical assistance. At Recife, we had another group of 38 volunteers, including doctors and translators. At the end of this medical mission, Naisna's nurses and Dr. Tauger served 1,142 patients.
Our trip to Brazil was a lovely, wonderful experience. We were in 2 different locations. One was in the rainforest in Manaus, working with an indigenous tribe. And that was, of course, a fabulous experience, learning about the culture, being welcomed with open arms. And a few days later, we were in Recife, which was a very different experience in its own way, much more urban and in a more rundown neighborhood. And that was also a fabulous experience, learning about the culture and meeting all sorts of different people, families, children, treating different illnesses and conditions.
We encountered several different groups in need of health care in different parts of the country, and were able to provide a lot of primary care with medications that were appropriate for large numbers of women, children, and elders. And that is always a very satisfying experience.
One of the things that actually moved me when we were at the tribe was when the chief did mention the consciousness of the environment. And as nurses, we should also be aware that we're not just taking care of patients, but we're also taking care of the environment as well, because part of our health is our environment. And what he said in particular was when he said the kids were very involved, the children were very involved in the environment, and if they see you put in the wrong item in the wrong bin, they would correct you. That particularly moved me.
My trip to Brazil was very, very, very good. It was a fruitful trip. Just going into the Amazon and going to the different tribes and the culture, as we travel all these medical mission trips, the similarities is greater than the differences. We have like the same fruits and the way we cook It's just like a different cooking, but we have the same food. And the culture, the dancing and everything, it's mixed. And, you know, we can all blend into it. And for this trip, I was very, very happy because one of the things that I'm looking forward to is to have the millennials join us on our trip. And this trip, I would say, was 75% millennials. And they all jumped in and worked as hard as ever. This mission trip was exceptional, and I think we will give a good kudos to Rani, who planned all of this, and nobody was complaining, everybody worked along. And I'm just happy that NISNA have these trips because it's bridging the gap. It's telling government in different countries all over the world, locally and globally, that healthcare is a human right and people need to have good healthcare and equality, which is the most things. And if government won't do it, we will let them do it. And the people need to know that their vote counts, and that's what will let them get whatever they want.
The trip was beyond my imagination, my wildest expectation. I got a lot more than I gave. I would like to do it again. I love Brazil. I love the people. I love the dimensions of the country, and I don't know, just traveling and helping people and speaking with them and trying to speak with them. It just develops me and opens me up, and I would love to do it again, and I highly recommend it.
Medical Mission was great. I love seeing the indigenous tribes and working with the children there. It was great to see such a population that was thriving in their own environment. It's very different than the United States. And I was actually surprised at how healthy all the kids were. You know, they had a few, skin issues and other things, but for a tribe that doesn't probably have standard access to medical care all the time like we do in the Western world, they're very actually healthy while running around with alligators and stuff out in the, jungle in the Amazon. So that was really great to see.
This was my first mission trip. I think it was a wonderful experience. The group was amazing. Everybody brought a lot of different things to the trip. Brazil was just a beautiful place. I feel like we helped a lot of patients, a lot of people from all ages, across the lifespan, little babies, infants, all the way to elderly adults. I learned so much about the culture of Brazil, going to different states such as Manaus, Recife, Salvador, and now Janeiro. It's been awesome. I would definitely do it again. I feel like I just helped a lot of people and learned so much. And like I said, it's like an experience like no other to actually come together with a group of people you've never met before or seen or worked with before and just give back. And everybody just brought something special to the trip. So it was great.
So I think NISA should continue to do this because it gives the volunteers, the nurses and doctors who are doing this a chance to experience different cultures, and it's a very rewarding experience, and I think every person in the medical profession should do a medical mission.
I think that I learned so much about the Brazilian culture. I think that it was great that we went to different parts of Brazil and we saw the parts of the Amazon, the city life, we saw a little bit of everything. Learned so much about the people. They were so appreciative of us being here, and it was great. We were working with some amazing nurses here, and I think that everybody put in a lot of hard work, and I learned a lot from them as well.
I was able to see such a diverse group of Brazilians, and we went to a whole bunch of different areas in Brazil and help a lot of people who are less fortunate than all of us, and it made me feel good to use my skills for good. And to help, and it also humbled me, and I just learned to feel more comfortable in maybe something that was a little different or not what I'm used to.
We had another wonderful medical mission from Amazon to Recife, and being part of NISNA and able to do these medical missions and extend healthcare access all the way into the Amazon from Manaus was amazing, to bring a local tribe healthcare and treatment that they don't have access to on a daily basis like we do, as well as Recife into the communities to help the people who don't have a primary doctor or whose doctor has left or they're left with no doctor or they haven't seen any at all. Between the adults and the children, the mothers and the babies, we had another successful mission. Thank you, Ronnie, so much to bring us to Brazil.
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was definitely not what I expected, but what I expected. I kind of came with an open mind to enjoy everything, and the Amazons was definitely like different. It was different. It was amazing just to see how appreciative everybody was for our help, how welcoming everyone was. Definitely an experience I'll never forget. This was my first missions actually, and I'm definitely going to be coming back. Hopefully, if I can do 2 a year, I'll definitely do 2 a year. It was definitely rewarding, kind of just knowing that, you know, you're giving of yourself, but what you're receiving back in return from people who are more or less fortunate than you, it was a very rewarding experience. I definitely enjoyed myself 110%.